everyone, A League of Their Own, back with another episode of Kaline's Corner. Let's get things started with the 1963 Topps, graded a PSA 6. Now, 1963 Topps presents nicely. There's a smaller encircled image of Kaline on a yellow background, which sits imposed upon the main card image and green border at the bottom. Now, 1963 Topps is notorious for tilting and centering issues. So this one is actually centered pretty good overall. And it is a 6, a collector's grade, but I think it's a really nice looking example of a 6. There were quite a few 7s that I came across, but they didn't have the overall eye appeal quite like this one. So I was more than happy to go with the 6th grade here. Now, 1963, that was a bounce back year for Kaline. So he would do quite well, and he finished second in the American League MVP voting to none other than Elston Howard. And that's relevant because the year before, Elston Howard's fly ball ended up breaking Kaline's collarbone. So apparently he wasn't done punishing Mr. Tiger. So just give you an idea of the back there. And we'll place this first pickup here in the background next. So next up, we're going to move into 1964 Topps. So again, this card is graded a 6 by PSA. This card was actually a gift from my brother, Kyle. Now, you'll notice that this card is dominated by a large, bold headshot of Kaline staring off into the distance. The Tigers' team name sits atop of the card in big, bold letters, which really gives the card a very straightforward and a pretty serious feel overall. Now, foot pain that was brought on by a condition called osteomyelitis, which is an infection of the bone, started to give Kaline a lot of problems in 1964, but he respectively played out the entire season anyway. Unsurprisingly, his offensive numbers would suffer, as his batting average dipped to .293 and his slugging percentage dropped to .469. But that didn't stop him from collecting his 7th Gold Glove Award, though. So really like the look of the 1964 Topps design. I think this card looks really sharp there, and a big thank you to Kyle for purchasing it for me. So last but not least, we're going to move into my final Kaline pickup, and this is his 1965 Topps. So this card is graded a 7 by PSA. His 1965 Topps issue offers a great shot of Kaline here with a bright big smile in front of that bright blue sky. Now, with 1965 Topps, centering and print bubbles along the colored borders of the images are the most common issues. So this one looks pretty good in minimizing those defects. Now, on the baseball playing front, with the help of an orthopedic surgeon, Kaline was wearing corrective shoes in the 1965 season to help with the continued foot pain from the osteomyelitis. The shoes helped ease his pain, and he would win his 8th Gold Glove that year, but his offensive stats were just as uncharacteristic as the year before. But don't worry, because Mr. Tiger would bounce back really well in 1966 to his characteristic and consistent stats. So I really like 1965. It does tend to be a more popular design of the 60s. I think this card looks pretty good overall there, and really happy to add it to the collection. So we'll place that last pickup with the other two there so you can see them all together. So those are the latest additions to my Kaline Basic Set Registry. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Kaline's Corner, and as always, thank you so much for watching, thanks for caring, and I will see you in the next one.